Okay, so it's the second time I try to make this first rant work. The first time there was no voiceover and there were only text, but 3 hours in editing and I wasn't even at half of the video done. It maybe could have been because my script was too long, perhaps, but safe thing to say is that I'm never doing that anymore. Hello everyone, my name is 𝐼𝐸𝐞 and welcome to my first rant video. I'm quite nervous, but whatever. Today we will be talking about Devil Bona's Gacha Life mini-movies, and especially today, her Guardian Killer series part 1. I will rant about this and then in another video about her other Gacha Life mini-movies. This is only part 1, so some things in the story might not be explained right away, but there are already inconsistencies I've noticed, so that's not good. But with that said, let's get on with the rant. To sum up part 1, real quick, we start with Ivan talking directly to the viewers and introducing himself. Shortly after we encounter his mother, who has not been given a name, so I'll just call her mom. We get introduced to the first notion of guardians, who Ivan will explain later, apparently. Right. The next day, Ivan goes to school and makes 2 friends. 3 if you count the girl, but it hasn't been confirmed, so I don't know. They also have not been given a name yet. They talk a bit, they go to class, and then Ivan goes home. Next day is said to be the day everyone gets their guardian. I'm guessing everyone turns 10 at the same time, or it's just convenient for the plot. Ivan arrives late, and is the last one to get his guardian, which is a guardian devil, who's said to not be suitable to be a guardian, which to me doesn't make much sense, but thankfully, there should be the guardian explanation that Ivan promised to give to clear things up, even though we're already past the whole guardian introduction, so that should have already happened, but whatever. 𝐼𝐻𝐿 and the other kid's guardian, who we do not know the names of. This movie really likes not giving characters names, get in an argument with Nyx, Ivan's guardian, and they end it with a deal that leads to a duel proposal. 2v1 doesn't seem fair, but yet again, whatever. The deal doesn't really make sense, but I'll explain that later. They kinda trauma-dump to each other before going home, and a bit later his mom dies. And the end of part 1. I've left lots of details that I'll be talking about now. We should maybe start by the positive things, which are, first of all, Ivan and some of his relationships. Ivan seems to be a cold-hearted kid who has had a bad childhood. He does show emotions, but most of the times he just finds no reason to do that. He doesn't really like physical touch, which is a cool detail that's constantly brought up. That's really all I have to say about him. This is only part 1, so I still need to see him developing more to actually have a clear opinion of him. I swear, if after that he just comes back to his gloomy self, I'll have to see the execution of that. He doesn't need to necessarily change, but it could go both ways. It really depends on his personality and what Bona wants him to become, but the most important is that it needs to make sense. And actually, lots of things in this Gacha Life mini-movies don't really make sense. There are quite the inconsistencies in here. If we go back to the guardian introduction, it is said that they can teleport with their owners and themselves, which brings lots of plot holes. Oh yes, true, the guardian explanation Ivan promised to give. That should clear things up. I don't remember it though. Wait, let me search it real quick. Okay, here. No. Here. Okay. Oh, there it is? No. At the end? Oh, there it is? No. The outro? Okay, now. Yep. No explanation whatsoever. Which makes this fucking confusing. Where is the explanation? I thought we needed it so that we could understand what the fuck is going on and who or what these people are. But they didn't keep their promise, so we have to go at it blind. And an explanation at part 2 would be really late, wouldn't you say? Since the guardian concept has already been introduced. But whatever! If guardians can teleport their owners, then it'd be a problem for jail since prisoners are just literally free. Unless there's a sort of mechanism that prevents them to just get up out of there. It's not really relevant to the plot, but it'd be great for the world building in the story to tell us how this whole thing works and how society adapted or something like that. But we have no answers, and that anyways doesn't really matter. I mean, the promised explanation maybe would have explained that, but it has been given, so... Okay, so guardians can teleport their owners, but with consent, they said. Well then let's see. Okay, he's ordered her to teleport with him, so that's good. Same with her. That's good. Consistency. And then it's brought down. Like, what? He didn't say anything. Why did she do that? And then it's the same with Nyx. Some could say it's just a small detail, but if something gets established, you do not just ignore it. Plus, it's not like they're in their head, so why ignore it? And how could they know? It's also that it's respected later when they want to go home, so what? We're being lazy here, to be honest. Another inconsistency I found is, you know how Devil Guardians, or whatever they're called, need to kill other Guardians and steal their powers to have any? If the whole premise and deal of that Guardian is to duel Nyx, and if she wins, she just gets to be left alone, then after hearing from his ass that Guardian killers kill other Guardians to get powers, what the fuck does he think is gonna happen? Just Nyx beating them and walk away? She even said she was gonna beat their ass hard, and they really think after everything they've just said about her, she's just gonna walk away if she wins? That doesn't really make sense. If you say she kills Guardians, then she's gonna try to fucking kill y'all, dude. And apparently she has no powers, but then way later on when the mom is about to die, Nyx can suddenly regenerate people? What? She just said minutes ago she had no actual powers and needed to kill Guardians and steal theirs. So why the fuck is she saying that? And also that I wanna punch her? If you can apparently regenerate her, then what the fuck are you waiting for? Christmas? It is in 6 months, idiot. She's fucking dying. Heal her then. It's just a bunch of words that hold no meaning and make this confusing as hell. If you could only get a bit of an explanation about what the fuck is going on, then it'd be cool, right? Oh yeah, we don't know shit. It's also that the death was kinda trash. Like, sure, I feel kinda bad for Ivan because we've seen him and his mother have moments, even though they didn't last for more than 2 minutes, but I guess it's enough. For the mom, I kinda don't care. Like, all I know is that she's caring and loves her son, like a generic type of mom we see in shows. Like, her personality is just caring about her son, and that's it. We don't even know her name, dude. She's just the mom. And now, she's dead. Like, when she died, I was like, oh wow, that's sad. For Ivan. But for the mom, I just don't care. I don't know her at all, and so for me, it's not impactful at all. To make an impact on a death, you firstly need to give her a fucking name, a personality, a goal, and a purpose. I'll explain the purpose later. I guess that she wishes his happiness, but I'm sure moms and people in general have more dreams in life and stuff, but actually I think that's alright, I guess. But still, we don't even know what job she has. We don't know her at all, which makes her death not sad at all. It's just surprising. It's like, oh, she dies this early? Because in the first place, her screen time was really not long at all. And the death is just, oh, okay, alright. Literally all there is to it. If there were flashbacks showing her, she could be a better character, but that's on Bona to decide. And then her killer is a fucking kid? She better be an important character. Also, why does her guardian only appear now? Where was he before? It's also so coincidental, we see him only after the Guardian's concept is introduced. Where was he before? I don't get it. Oh well, the character was probably not even made. It's like he holds no value in this, when his power is the first Nyx steals. You'd think Nyx's first power would have been stolen from an important character, right? Well, that's not it. He was on screen for a total of 15 seconds. If we can even say he was really on screen, as if he didn't act like a background character. He didn't even talk, he was dying. Those were just bad written character and poor choices were made about them. The actual best character so far would definitely be Hyan. I have no idea if it's how you pronounce his name, but oh well, yeah. Hyan is actually great. You know, the kid that wears glasses. I know his name not because of his introduction, nor because someone introduced him. It was just randomly said. I still don't know this dude's name. But anyways, Hyan is a very logical kid. He acts with logic and is just very wholesome. When Ivan was doubting guardians, he said he'd use his guardian to help him with his studies, which is just so realistic. It's refreshing to see a kid not fantasize about being a hero and stuff, but he only worries about his studies. It's just so wholesome and logic because I would actually see him doing that. He really also acts by listening to logic, and it's proven when their guardians got in an argument, he listened to the guardians only because they know more than him, and that just makes sense. He's an already very likable character in my opinion. He just makes sense and his actions make sense as well. Very good written character so far. I hope he appears more later on because he's pretty interesting as well. As for the other kid, who has not been given a name and who I'll call Max, he seems to be a pretty energetic one. He wants to help humans, and that's really all I can say about him. It's just part 1, so he might have a bigger role and character later on in the story, just like Hyen, but at the moment we know very little about him. And then comes Nyx, whose character appears in lots of other Gacha Life mini-movies of Bonus. But whatever, we don't know much about her as well. We only know she's a devil form guardian and that she has no powers. She's got a dad who's killed hundreds of guardians and has lots of powers, and that is really it. We'll need to see how she develops through the story. Also that she'll mostly develop alongside Ivan. Those two are the characters we'll mostly see on screen, so they have to be entertaining and need to be fleshed out so that it doesn't get boring. Though I am interested in seeing how they'll develop together. Oh yeah, we mostly don't know a lot about Nyx because... oh yeah, no guardian explanation. It's just so confusing because at this point, I don't even know if guardians are just fucking slaves or pets. Why slaves? The constant usage of the verb to use is used. And why pets? Because of this. And also that apparently they are owned by humans. So this is just trash because it is so confusing. Also, what a fucking great idea to give 10-year-old kids destructive beings they can control so that the immature ones can use them for malicious purposes, like what just happened at the end. It's like we completely forgot we're giving them to literal kids that can do whatever they want with them. And with all this thinking, we really did not predict that something wrong would happen eventually. It's just so stupid and hard to believe. The concept was not developed enough and thought through and out. My first suggestion is that you need to make us care about something or someone before getting rid of it, and also having a purpose for getting rid of it, whether it be for character development over another character or an establishment. It needs to make sense, and after you establish something, you don't just ignore what you just established unless you have a plausible explanation. You stick to it. When you establish something, you respect it till the end. And yeah, that is it. I think I've explained my other suggestions and concerns earlier, but now, I think I've ranted enough. This is really only part 1, so some things might change or some things I said might just be wrong or be explained, but that needs to happen first. I feel like the series has already started off to a rocky start with all these inconsistencies, but oh well. My points have come across clearly and I am done. This was my first rant on one of Devil Bonus series, and yeah, I hope you have a great day night, stay safe, ciao!